Hi, I'm Joseph Williams.
And I'm Ebony Williams.
And welcome to the family edition of Life on Purpose.
On today's family edition, Joseph and I just wanted to take the time to share with you something that we believe is quintessential to our marriage, and that is the practice of having family talks.
Yes. Ebony and I feel that it is absolutely necessary to communicate on a different level with your spouse. So we've been doing this even before we got married. And actually, it was by doing that is what helped thrust us into marriage.
That's true.
Because that really helped us to be transparent with each other and really get to know the other person.
Yeah. So for Joseph and I, we have family meetings once per month. I think in the beginning though, I think we had them a little more often.
Oh yeah, we did like once a week.
Once per week. And that was really the foundation. That was our foundation. So for us now, we do a family meeting once per month. For your family, it could be maybe once every 2 weeks. It could be once a week. It could be once every month. You would just really have to assess your family needs and go from there. And then something else we do definitely want to stress is that it should not be something laborious. You should not go into it thinking, oh my God, this is going to take forever. No, this really is not only for the betterment of you, but for the betterment of your family. And you need to treat it as such.
Yes. And one thing we'd like to add to that is that with it not being laborious is that maybe you can do it, at home sometimes. Yes. Maybe sometimes you can go to a park. A cafe.
Yeah.
So just kind of mix it up
the location.
And just keep it creative.
Yeah.
At these family meetings, it's a time for you and your spouse to be transparent. This will only work if you're transparent. If you're holding in, maybe, my husband treated me wrong, my wife treated me wrong 2 months ago, and you're still harboring those feelings, those emotions in, that's the time to get everything out on the table, and just dissect everything that's going wrong, exactly. Everything that's going good.
Exactly. Because guess what? Victories are not won by accident. From our favorite movie,
The War Room. I don't want this to sound negative because it's not, but marriage is a job.
It's work.
You have to put work into it.
You do. Something we always say is that you should not put it on autopilot.
And the thing about the word reciprocity, this is exactly what this is. You get out of marriage what you put in.
Yep. One of the things that I think I definitely cherish is when people meet us as a couple, they always tell us that we work really well together. If you see us in person, you can actually tell that we really do feed off of each other. We really can pretty much complete each other's sentences. That really did not come overnight.
So think about this whole the part that we're talking about now is getting out what you put in. Think about a bank. If you don't put money in the bank,
yeah,
you can't draw money out the bank if you're not putting money. If you're not putting money in.
Yep.
Also, I would like to say this too, is that one of the great things about this family talk is that one of the great things about it is that you have to prepare for battle in a time of peace.
Yes. You used to say that all of the time. Joseph used to say that all the time when we were when we were courting each other. He used to say that all the time. Like, you cannot wait until you're in the middle of a battle to try to figure out, okay, well, what can I do?
So what's happening a lot of times is that and this is escalating the disagreements in different relationships, is that we're waiting to bring up things that are hurting us, things that we are holding in, when we're already in an argument.
Exactly. And actually, one of the things that, the Lord really does use Joseph.
Come on.
Because something that I had to understand is something that Joseph would always say is that this is, when you have issues, when you have problems, you have to get to the root of them.
Come on.
And you cannot get to the root of the situation if you're not taking the time to dissect it.
Come on.
So that's another thing. Family talks give you the opportunity to really get to the root, get to the heart of the matter.
Because if you and I know it's hard. I know, some people don't like, what do you call it?
I don't know.
I guess just negative tension and energy and stuff like that. But there's no way around it.
It's really no way around it.
If you keep sweeping things up under the rug, things will perpetually keep repeating themselves. So then you look up, why are we constantly fighting? Why are we constantly arguing? You gotta get to the root of the problem. Deal with it, tackle it. I know it may not be easy, but once you do it, and then it will be this weight that'll be lifted off of your chest.
Yes.
So just get to the root of it. So the first thing that we talk about in our family meetings is our relationship with God. It is impossible for me to love my wife, respect my wife, treat my wife right,
and vice versa.
If God to me if there's a disconnect, if there's a uneven flow, balance, it's impossible for me to love my wife right. Let me delve deeper, if I may. So, for instance, dealing with the opposite sex, not even being deep, but my ability to be faithful to my wife, it comes from God first. So, if I'm in a situation with another female, for instance, I'm not gonna say, well, Ebony wouldn't like it if I did X.
Because technically, I'm not enough.
Exactly.
I'm not enough to keep you faithful.
Exactly. I'm saying to myself, okay, how is this gonna benefit my relationship with God first? So that's gonna keep me foundationally sound in my decision making. Not Ebony. It's no disrespect to her. Not that I don't love her, but I have to love God more. I have to love God to keep me from doing wrong.
Exactly. And obviously, it works on the flip side. So you do have to. I think one of the visuals that I've seen, but it's usually applied to dating, but it really does work the same way in marriage. The visual is you have a man on the right side and the woman on the left side, and God is at the top in the center. And pretty much how they find each other is them both walking upward to the center.
Exactly.
So pretty much, it becomes a triangle. Well, the same is certain for marriage. In order for the home, in order for the relationship to truly be on one accord, both of us as individuals have to be making sure that we're seeking the Lord first, keeping him center, keeping him our constant. Therefore, we are able to truly, love each other, to be exactly what we need to be for the other person.
And just delving just a little deeper. Okay, what does it mean to keep God first? What does that mean? Okay, just very briefly, that means in the morning, hopefully it's in the morning. I think that's probably the best time. It's just to spend some one-on-one time with God, whether it's in prayer, whether it's in worship, whether it's reading some scriptures. You just spend that time with him first in the morning. I told Ebony a long time ago, and this still holds true to this day, is that I'm not gonna, and this is not being deep, please hear me, but just how I feel. I'm not gonna wake up in the morning and tell Ebony I love her first, and I haven't said that to God.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna wake up in the morning and tell Ebony how beautiful she is, and I haven't said that to God first. I'm gonna do that to God first. So basically, that's what it is. So you hear people say, well, keep God first, keep God first. What does that actually mean?
What does it mean?
That's what it means.
Yeah.
You literally keep him first. You keep God first. You spend time with him first in the morning before you spend time with your spouse.
Yes. In family talk, the second thing we discussed is our marriage. Duh, right? So one of the things
it wouldn't be a family talk without talking about sorry, go ahead.
That's a good point.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we talk about our marriage, and pretty much we come together, and for me for instance, I'll come to him and say, okay, Joseph, how am I doing as a wife? That's a kind of a side note almost. We cannot assume that we're doing a fantastic job as spouses. you know, the thing that I have learned is that Joseph and I, we thrive on different things. And obviously one of the things, especially for a man, is knowing that he is respected.
Yes.
And I need to make sure that I am acting accordingly, you know, that I'm actually loving on him accordingly. So, you know, it's okay, well, how am I doing? Do you feel as though that I'm being respectful? Do you believe that I'm being patient? One of the biggest things that I struggle with is communication. Ironically enough, but it's communication, because I have a tendency to internalize things. So we come together and that's what we do. How am I doing?
And how am I doing as a husband?
Exactly.
Am I respecting her? Am I being gracious? Am I communicating? It's everything. Some things that I may major on, she may minor on.
Exactly.
Some things she major on, I minor on.
Right.
So, you know, once again, it's following all the building blocks, being transparent.
Yes.
Communicating. Talking about the hard things,
Exactly.
the rough things that maybe we think we're doing good, but maybe
Exactly.
we're actually not doing good. So it's just communicating. Just getting down to the crux of the matter, and just, you know, resolving things and talking things out, and, you know, and not holding anything back.
Not holding it back.
Also on Family Talk, we delve into intimacy and, you know, are our needs being met, and we just delineate all the things, you know, in that area as well.
Exactly.
So that's not off limits.
It's not. And I'm kind of happy that we're touching on this, because for whatever reason among Christians, intimacy tends to be
Take a backseat.
a taboo topic, when really, if you're married, you have the license. Like, I earned the right. Okay,
Do you hear me?
Do you hear me?
So,
So, you know, obviously in Family Talk, that's something that's something that's necessary to discuss. You know, it's important.
It means something.
It means
a lot.
It does. And we cannot walk around thinking that, you know, our life of intimacy, it does not matter. No, I believe that it is a part of sanctification. Like, let's be real. Let's stop being so deep about it. Let's be real.
talk about it.
Talk about it.
Be about it.
Thank you.
Finances.
Yes.
Finances. Next, talk about money.
Yes.
Budgeting.
Yes.
Is my wife spending too much money?
I'm not.
She
Hallelujah.
used to
I've
be
been
that.
delivered. Okay, so this is the thing. I think with the budget. Okay, so within our family, my husband is the individual who takes care of finances. I know for some women it's them. However, for our home, it is my husband. One, I am happy that it is this way, because the way I was bred, it was the total opposite. So I grew up seeing the stresses. So I'm definitely happy that the Lord gave me a visionary over our finances, and he actually does accordingly. So in the beginning, I didn't understand, but it wasn't until I started seeing money grow in the account that I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I talk to you before I go ahead and purchase this, whatever it is. And when you're really able to align yourself accordingly, you'll see the goodness of the Lord.
Come on. So money is another subject that's kind of taboo in, you know, marriages, but and as we know that finances can cause a lot of stress,
yes,
and you know, a lot of different negative energy into marriage, and finances is one of the big reasons of why couples get divorced and separate and stuff like that. So make sure you get your finances together. Make sure that you just have everything together. Like, you know, maybe you may have a situation in your marriage, in your relationship, where, you know, you say, okay, if we're going to spend over $25, $50, $100, then, you know, let the other person know what's going on. You may have a certain budget, like, as long as you stay under $25, you know, just get what you need or whatever like that. You know, whatever your situation, you know, is. But just make sure you communicate and everybody know what's happening with the money,
exactly.
You know? And don't be having two bank accounts. One bank account is y'all money. It don't matter if she makes more money than me, if I make more money than her, it's everybody, one account, money.
We have to stop. See, I don't know.
That's my money.
I don't know why we buy into the world's principles. That's really what that is. You know, for whatever reason, and I do understand to each his own. However, one thing I do know is that your money go further when you work together as a team. Like when you become one, everything about you becomes one. Not just, not just your body, not just your spirits, but everything.
My wife and I have realized we are so strong together. The enemy likes to cause confusion and division.
Yes.
Stay together.
Stay together.
All your money, your time, your resources, everything is keep it one. Keep it one.
And the final thing that we discuss are family goals. We also discuss like any upcoming events that we need to plan for. But in regards to goals, we talk about long-term and short-term goals. So for us, one of the things is like business. So within business, like within the business of our family, like what we do, what exactly are we preparing? What are we preparing for?
Yeah. Is everything on point? Are we our finances are they together with this?
Exactly.
Do we need to do this? How do we need to allocate our time? How do we need to allocate our finances?
It's a time of strategic planning. Pretty much. So we just strategically, decipher what's what, and we prepare accordingly.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, for allowing us to just share this time with you, and just hopefully drop some gold nuggets to your family. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
On Life on Purpose, Family Edition. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys.